My name is Susan Evans and I'm 63 years old.
Susan, can you tell us your current state of health presently?
Well, currently I'm diagnosed with stage 4 metastasized lung cancer and I'm currently having treatment every fortnight.
What does that treatment consist of? Is that chemo or?
It's called immunotherapy and I have an infusion which takes about an hour to 2 hours.
And does that have side effects for the body?
It does, apparently, but I have very, very little side effects. I only have a little bit of tiredness just after I have the infusion.
Is that normal? Is that surprising for your doctors?
My doctor was extremely surprised to see that my cancer marker had dropped quite low since I'd been on it. He was quite astounded actually, so yeah, he just keeps saying to me, whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
And what do you put it down to?
I put it down to my livingness, the way I live. It's beautiful. I've made so many changes in my life compared to the way I lived 9 years ago, and that's what's really supported me to feel so vital today.
Can you give us an example of some of those changes and how they came about?
Well, I used to drink, I used to use drugs, I used to smoke cigarettes, I used to be very stressed out all the time, I used to judge people, I was hard, worked hard, and measured people up to my expectations all the time. And since I started adopting the choices around the livingness, it's been a massive change. Like even the way I close a door and a drawer, the way I place things, the way I talk to people. I'm more gentle. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. I treat people as equals. I don't judge them anymore.
And how were you supported to make those changes?
Well, I have esoteric sessions, which are Chakra-puncture, hands-on healing. Chakra-puncture mainly through when I was having chemotherapy. When I had that, it made me feel like the chemo had gone right through the entire body evenly and there was no anxiety or any tension. So I was able to get through the chemo process without any anxiety. You know, of course there were times when, you know, I was exhausted and tired, but that was all provided to me free, which is just so beautiful. And, you know, that's what Universal Medicine do for people who go through chemo. It's amazing.
Was it ever suggested to you that you should use Universal Medicine Therapies to try to cure yourself of cancer?
Universal Medicine provided true healing for me, which is not a cure. The healing I've had has been about me dealing with my issues in life, my hurts, and when you delve into those and realise the choices that you've made from that, you know, the therapies just support you and hold you in that.
So it was never suggested that you shouldn't seek medical advice and should just do Universal Medicine Therapy?
Absolutely never, no. Especially Serge. I had contact with Serge when I first got my cancer, and he was definitely pro-medicine, and he always has been, which was a shock to me when I first came to Universal Medicine because I always followed alternative medicine and I really didn't like doctors at all. And when I heard Serge talk about pro-medicine, I was like, oh, really? And that was when I came back to the medical profession with, you know, handing myself over, obviously still making choices that support me, and going to the medical profession and Universal Medicine, I believe, is why I'm still here today.
How long have you been engaging with the work of Universal Medicine?
I'm coming up to my 9th year now, but the first 4 years I was so excited to find something that I felt was really true in my heart. But after coming up to the time that I got the cancer, that's when I really started to see that it was really little things were working and changing in my life, and it was really great, and my whole lifestyle is completely different.
What does your life look like today?
Well, if someone was looking from the outside in, they'd say it's pretty boring, really. But it's simple. You know, I get up every day and go for a walk and I do some exercise. I work on projects on the computer. I still go to work. I work with an amazing team of people. I don't get stressed anymore. I look at them as equals. I observe what's going on if something's happening in front of me, and very little reaction in my life. I mean, obviously I'm not perfect, but I don't react anymore to the level that I used to. I cook really great meals for myself. I get to bed by 8:30 every night. Calm, you know, wake up in the morning, feel beautiful, you know, ready to start the day. So, yeah.
But don't you have a diagnosis of terminal cancer at this point?
Yeah, I do, but I feel I've never felt such a joy in my life that, not because I've got cancer, but just that I have accepted and surrendered to the fact that I have cancer and whatever is in front of me is in front of me.
And you feel like you can deal with that?
Well, I don't think we get given anything unless we can. That's the way I feel.
What do your colleagues at work make of it? Does it surprise them to see you still working?
I think they just forget I have cancer like I do, really. But I think they're pretty amazed that I can still be there and function as I do. So,
Without the support of Universal Medicine Therapies, would life look like that with cancer, do you think?
oh no, I think when I would have been diagnosed with cancer in that moment, I think I would have gone into absolute meltdown. Instead, I just went, okay, cried for a few minutes, and then I just went, well, you know what? I've lived a pretty reckless life up until this point, so how could I expect anything different, in all honesty? So I'm responsible for what happens to me.
When you say responsible, is that different from blaming yourself? Do you feel like you...
Oh, yeah, of course. I don't blame myself at all. Or every single choice I've made, and I'm actually writing about it at the moment, is what has brought this here today. And I love every part of it. Yeah.
There's obviously, you know, the reality of preparation for passing over when you're at this stage of life. Have you ever felt pressure from anyone at Universal Medicine of how you're going to, what you're going to do in terms of your will or leaving money?
No, absolutely not. No, not a chance. No.
And how do you feel about the legacy that you leave in your will?
Well, I'm leaving money to my family, but I'm also leaving money to Universal Medicine, because what gets done in the community by Universal Medicine is absolutely astounding. And if people knew, they would be just breaking down the doors to get there to find out what's going on. So there's so much love, it's not funny, and I would like to see my money going towards that.